You see, you cannot restructure Nigeria when you still come as a tribal leader.
Okay.
You cannot restructure Nigeria when you come as a religious leader. You come as a Nigerian leader. That is to say, you detribalize yourself.
Okay.
You de-religionize yourself.
Okay.
Then you find out that when you start relating with people irrespective of their tribes and their religion, and you are able to move people, they will follow you. They asked Abraham Lincoln, how have you been able to lead the Americans? He took a thread and he pushed it on top of his table, and the thread came together. Then he stayed in front and pulled the thread, and the thread straightened out and followed him. When you push people, you will find out that they will come together. I'll give you an example. You take like the Igbos, for example.
Yes.
The Igbos feel marginalized, and they rightly feel marginalized. People have made derogatory statements against the Igbos, based even from the leadership, based on the experiences of civil war. Why don't we, for example, if I happen to be the present president,
Okay.
and the leadership of the APC and the leadership of the PDP, let's zone the presidency to the southeastern part. Let an Igbo man become president.
Really?
Even in the same system, you will discover all this agitation for IPOB and all that you have deflated it.
What about the Boko Haram?
The Boko Haram.
Yes.
Let me tell you the issue with Boko Haram. The problem of Boko Haram started with extrajudicial killing of their leader. Their leader was arrested and he was extrajudicially executed. Then the people took up arms. They took up arms to fight against the state apparatus.
Okay.
Now, why is it that the people are going to sell fuel to Boko Haram? Why is it that people are going to charge funds for Boko Haram? They don't have faith in the state. They don't belong to the government. They don't feel that the government belongs to them. They feel more aligned to their religious inclination. Because before now, people came up as Buhari came with a religious card, frankly speaking. He came with a religious card, frankly speaking. In the beginning, surrounded himself with his cohorts from the same place, and people saw it as a Fulanization. Even the present APC chairman was saying that if you can defend spare part dealers,
Yes.
and he was most probably referring to the Igbo nation because they predominantly sell spare parts. If you can defend banks, he was most probably referring to the Yoruba nation because they own banks. He said then you should defend Fulani herdsmen. We are not saying you should kill herdsmen, but no banker stays in the bush to destroy people's farms.
Sure.
No spare parts dealer goes to the farm to destroy people's products. So you must be in such a way that you don't whip up ethnic sentiments, religious sentiments. So as a leader, if you are able to be firm, the Boko Haram issue, if we want to defeat Boko Haram, in 6 months we will do it.
I agree with you.
You know why?
No.
Some of these generals that have been arrested, money that were diverted from the prosecution of the war,
Yes.
were used to build petrol stations, say an unnamed general, publish his name. We see monies that were supposed to be used to do things for our soldiers, buy stuff for our soldiers, were diverted to go and do other things. Buying Super Tucano aircraft will not turn AK-47 to AK-49.
That's true.
Why can't we buy superior ammunition? Why can't we motivate our soldiers? I saw our soldiers soaking Gary in the forest.
It's terrible.
I saw our soldiers crying for water in the forest.
Yes.
So if you mobilize these young men, do massive recruitment, take the soldiers you are using to harass people in Delta State, in Lagos State, let's mobilize to the north and face these people man to man. We will crush them.
I agree with you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. It's quite informative,
Yes.
I must confess to you.
Yes.
Yeah, but coming back now, recall the topic is, if you were the president
Yes.
of Nigeria, what would you do differently?
Yes.
Now, some people hold the view that the problem of Nigeria is systemic.
Yes.
That there's a system that has been built already, that when people come in, they just follow the system. And there's a cloud of people, you know, that are conditioned to follow. That's the leadership is conditioned to follow this system.
Yes.
Where no matter how good you are, that the moment you come into power, the system absorbs you and the story remains the same. Do you agree with that?
I agree to an extent.
Okay.
Because you see, like the APC now. I'm sorry, I'm using the APC as a system.
Okay.
They've done consensus to pick a chairman. So all other opinions are silenced.
Okay.
Are you following what I'm saying?
Yes.
The next thing is that the presidential candidate, by consensus, they're also going to pick a presidential candidate, and every other dissenting voice is silenced.
I agree with you.
So there is a system and a cabal of people who are interested in raping Nigeria, destroying the nation for their self-aggrandizement. But now, if we deliberately design a system that I have shared severally,
Yes.
and which I want to share with you now.
Great.
If we deliberately devise a 6-man presidential council
Okay.
that is based on the 6 geopolitical zones. Now, we have northeast, northwest, north central, we have southwest, south-south, southeast.
Yes.
Let's not have national parties. If we don't have national parties, we have broken the system that has existed before. So the cabal from the north cannot affect the cabal from the south. The cabal from the south cannot go to the north to go and influence. So you have south-south, southeast, southwest. Elect a president each from those zones. Then have a 6-man presidential council.
Okay.
When you have this 6-man presidential council, every segment of this nation will be sending their best candidates to that council. Are you following what I'm saying?
Very well, very well.
And then allocate portfolios.
Okay.
Not now, one man is president, one man is the same minister for petroleum. Now somebody imported petroleum that is defective. Nobody is holding any
Affecting every
person.
part of it.
Nobody is holding any person responsible. One of the presidential council members will be in charge of works, another will be in charge of housing, another will be in charge of petroleum resources, finance, external affairs, defense, and internal affairs. The resultant effect is that there is spread of power to the different regions.
Okay.
And so within a space of 12 years, power will have rotated around all the regions, and then you will not have deprivation. I will scrap the Senate. Because
Wow.
the Senate is just duplicating efforts.
Okay.
With a 6-man presidential council, House of Representatives, we don't need a Senate. Look at the Senate. It's former governors that go there and sit as if they are sitting in their palace. When somebody is debating, they are walking all over the place. I will scrap it out. The Senate is too expensive. Because one of the things I will do is to reduce cost of governance.
Okay.
And to reduce cost of governance, you must reduce cost of elections.
Okay.
So with political parties limited only to the regions, this idea of coming to campaign from the north and all that, and trying to impose your will upon people in a particular, you know that a local government chairman in Ughelli North
Yes.
was determined by somebody in Benue State.
For real?
Yes, the man is late now.
Jesus Christ.
It was somebody from Benue State in the PDP then that determined who became local government chairman in Ughelli North. And so he is a servant to that man. If we break this control,
Yes.
we will now have the best candidates. And let me tell you, if a president is not functioning from a zone, his people can withdraw him. They can recall him.
Great.
So one man cannot hold us. Yes.
Oh, sir, so what a beautiful plan. But I want to say this, sir. Don't you think, by any way, does this not negate the principle of democracy?
No.
Would you still say we'll be practicing democratic system of government
Yes.
with all this you've talked about?
In Spain,
Yes.
you have the Basque region.
Okay.
You have different regions. They have different presidents.
Wow.
You understand? We will now really become a republic of the United States of Nigeria, so to say.
Okay.
Democracy, it is the right of the people to elect their leaders. And so, I cannot determine the leader that is coming from Kano when children will register to vote, and you see small children registering to vote. I have not determined that. If the children register to vote in Kano,
Yes.
they will contest among themselves and use children to elect their leaders.
I agree with you.
It does not affect the Yoruba man.
Of course.
It does not affect the Igbo man.
Sure.
It does not affect the Kogi state man. And so by doing that, any region that is not ready to develop will remain backward. That's their business. But any region that is ready to develop politically
Okay.
will develop politically and bring the best The problem with this country is that we are not having the best leading us. Imagine Ekure with 8 degrees under Shagari, that was a school teacher. Imagine Professor Shimbanjo, professor of law under Buhari. We have had this repetition of the best brains being under people who are not as enlightened and as educated as them.
Wow, it's potentially damaging, honestly. But I want to say this, sir. Do you belong to any political party as we speak? Because you've mentioned more of APC, for clearance of doubt, really. No. Because for the viewer out there, we need to clear
the PDP. When Goodluck Jonathan was in power,
yes,
I was preaching in their churches in Bayelsa,
okay,
and in Rivers State. I was telling them they should go and tell him that he is not performing and that he will lose. Because when they give you power, power is like a gun. If you give me a gun now and I hold it, you are at my mercy.
I agree with you.
Goodluck Jonathan was in power. He did not exert authority. The reason the APC was formed was the grievances of imposition of candidates, godfatherism. That's what made people to migrate from PDP to join APC. So PDP is not innocent. They are not different.
Wow.
The terrible thing is, I did an interview for a TV station, Quest TV.
Okay.
I said a third party might emerge.
Okay.
And the new Nigerian development, new Nigerian People's Party or whatever has already emerged. Concourse on the rest.
Of course.
And the problem they are having, they are thinking they are superstars. The average Nigerian politician feels too big for himself.
Okay.
And when he goes outside the shores of this nation, no person recognizes him.
Okay.
So they should humble themselves and start that new third party.
Okay.
They should start recruiting young, brilliant people. I don't belong to any political party.
Wow.
The APC is just in power, and the limelight is on them.
Okay.
PDP did worse.
Okay.
They did terrible things. So that is, look at somebody buying brazier of $7 million or whatever. That's
terrible.
What breast do you want to wear? The expired breast. And there's no road to her village.
It's terrible, honestly.
Expired breast. You want to wear the brazier along the street? Some people are mad.
honestly, thank you very much. You see, I know the youth out there.
Yes.
You know, have been so concerned about the youth in recent time, and the Bible says in the last days, old men shall dream dreams and young men shall see vision.
I'm dreaming dreams.
Yeah, but today, old men are dreaming dreams and see vision for the young people. So I don't know, when will the young people begin to see vision? It's terrible. Now, for the youth watching this, they want to know, because the question, the topic still remains: if you were the president of Nigeria, what are you going to do differently? So what plan would you have for the youth? Because the youth believe it's just old men. Look at, so in a country where you see a man of 68 years, holding position as the minister for youth and sports. Now, what would you do in this regard if you were the president?
You see,
concerning youth,
Soludo is doing a very reasonable thing.
Okay.
He's bringing in young men into his cabinet in Anambra State.
Great.
So it is not enough to bring young people into the cabinet. Number one, I need to rejig the educational system. The educational system that produces people that memorize, people that just recite, people that are trained to go and work in the office. I will rejig the educational system. Number one, I will make the universities comfortable for our children to stay. I know universities where students defecate in polythene bag and throw away.
Really?
Yes.
In Nigeria?
Yes. I went to a university again at the age of 56, and there were no toilets. I would drive into town to go and use the restroom. So I will make university education like Costa Rica did. Costa Rica disbanded their army. I will take money from areas of wastage, just like the Senate. I will take money from...
So you mean the Senate is a waste?
It's a waste. I also tell you, see, go and check how much that is used to buy gas in Aso Rock. It will shock you. You will wonder whether they eat hippopotamus for breakfast. Go and check how much is used for cutlery in Oshibanjo's house, how much is used for cutlery in Buhari's house annually.
Cutlery,
as if they are disposable.
Oh my God.
Let me tell you one. It will shock you to know that we pay house rent for Aso Rock. We don't know who we are paying to.
I don't understand. You pay no, sir. No, this is shocking to me. No. Pay house rent in Aso Rock.
We pay house rent in
Meaning Aso Rock is on rentage.
I don't know who we have belonged to. Ask Babangida when he was shocked.
Is it verifiable, sir?
Verifiable. Go and check it now.
House rent in Aso Rock.
We pay bills for Aso rent. We budget for rent in Aso Rock.
Jesus Christ.
So who are we paying it to?
Wow.
So I will scrape a lot of money from the unnecessary expenditure and use it to improve education. When I use it to improve education in such a way that it is improved and affordable, like as I went to school, good school. I ate chicken in school. Improve education. So the youth that is coming out, I will make our educational system competitive. What are we going to do in Ghana? What are we going to do in Cotonou? What are we going to do overseas? Where my children school? I went to some of the schools in Europe. They are not bigger than the ones I went to. They are not better than the ones I went to. It's just that the system is well organized. So education, once you educate a mind well, a productive education, entrepreneurial education will be part of my curriculum so that unemployment will not be. You see, these youths are easy to manipulate because they lack money.
I agree with you. Poverty.
I told you last time is weaponized poverty.
Weaponized poverty.
Then I will also organize the youths into bodies.
Okay.
Into bodies. Like as I said, 1 million youths contributing 1,000 naira a week.
It's 52 million. 52 million weekly. 1,000 naira weekly.
Weekly.
Yeah.
52 million weekly.
No, sorry, that's 1,000 youths.
1,000 youths
contributing 1,000 naira weekly will amount to 52 million. But
is it billion?
No, million. But if it is 1 million youths,
yes,
that amounts to a billion.
Billion. So we'll deliberately set up institutions where the youths will contribute. It will be well audited and managed. Then they have access to funds, entrepreneurial funds, start-up capital. Because small and medium enterprises in developed societies contribute 75% of their GDP.
I agree with you.
So
now, thank you very much, sir.
Then listen.
Yes.
The Super Eagles.
Wow.
You saw the anger in the stadium.
Of course.
Destroying the team.
Lynched them.
The people were angry.
Angry.
You see, sports, talent hunts. I would develop sports in Nigeria. I would develop things, other sports like basketball. I would develop other sports like cricket. Cricket brings a lot of money to India. I played cricket as a student at Government College Ughelli.
Wow.
We played, Edo College plays cricket, Government College Ibadan plays cricket. We have cricket clubs around the country. I would develop other sports. I will make it in such a way that sports becomes a revenue generating issue in Nigeria. Then number two, Nigerians in the entertainment industry. Nigerians have a lot of talent in music, have a lot of talent in acting, have a lot of talent in painting. When you are entering an airport in New York, in the US, it is Akunyili's daughter's painting that welcomes you.
In US?
Yes, the father said it before they killed that good man.
Wow.
So I will encourage their talents, encourage